Welcome back to Country Doctor House Calls. I'm glad you're here today, and I want to talk about something that doesn't come up in clinic notes. It doesn't come up except for maybe out around a campfire with my friends or family. But it's fatherhood. And if you're a dad, you've probably had the thought at least once, maybe this week, maybe today, man, I messed that up. You snapped when you were tired. You missed something because work ran long. You said you would play later, and later it really didn't come. You lost your temper. You checked your phone instead of listening. And afterward, it hits you. That quiet guilt, the knot in your chest, the fear that you're failing the people who matter most. Here is the truth we don't say out loud enough. Good dads mess up all of the time. The difference is not perfection. The difference is what we do next. A lot of us grew up with the idea that dads are supposed to be steady, unshaken, always right, always in control. Especially those of us in medicine or leadership roles. We're trained to always have answers, to fix things, to keep moving. But the last time I checked, fatherhood doesn't work like a protocol. Kids don't need a flawless dad. They need one that is real and one that is present. One of the most powerful moments in a child's life is not when their dad gets everything right. It's when their dad says, "I'm sorry, I was wrong. I could have handled it a little bit differently, or I shouldn't have handled it that way." And that moment teaches humility. It teaches accountability. It teaches grace. And it shows them what a man does when he falls short. And here's another way to think about it. Fatherhood works a lot like a bank account. Every day, we're making deposits or withdrawals in our own kids' lives. And here's the encouraging part, is that a deposit does not have to be big for it to be significant. Sometimes all you've got that day is a penny's worth of time, a hug before bed, a question about their day, sitting down for a couple of minutes, even when you're exhausted. A penny is still a deposit. So many times we'll tell ourselves, if I can't give them an hour, then I'll give them nothing. But that's not how growth works. It's consistency. Consistency beats intensity. Small, faithful deposits made day after day build something strong over time. Kids, to be honest, don't remember the exact amount. They remember that dad showed up. There's also something important to say about our own parents. And most of us are trying to parent with a mixture of some gratitude and wounds. We look back and see how hard it was for our moms and dads, the long hours, the stress, the things that they carried that we didn't understand at the time. And we can also see the places where they didn't get it right. Honoring your parents does not mean pretending that they were perfect. It means recognizing that the job was hard. And they were choosing gratitude over bitterness. And now that's your choice to choose gratitude over bitterness. It also means saying and being honest, because of how they raised me, I can see a little clearer. Not because we're better than they were, but because we're standing on their shoulders, on the foundation that they built us on. So when we choose to do something differently as fathers, we're not dishonoring them. In fact, I think we're honoring them. We're taking what they gave us, learning from their strengths and their mistakes, and trying to carry forward with wisdom. That's legacy. That's growth. That's respect. Jumping back in as a good father does not require some dramatic reset or a grand gesture. But no, it can be small. It's about walking into the room after a rough moment and sitting down anyways. It's choosing to re-engage instead of withdrawing out of shame. It's asking a question. It's showing up the next morning, even if yesterday didn't really go how you wanted. I think one of the lies that I see a lot, especially in conversations with some of my close friends, is that dads believe that once we mess up, we've lost a lot of ground permanently, maybe. That our kids are keeping some score the way that we do, like some rubric in the back of the room that we haven't found yet. Most of the time, though, they're not. They're watching for presence, not perfection. They're watching to see if I show back up, if I still love them, if I am safe enough, or if I am confident enough to admit that I'm merely a human, that I'm them just a few years older. When they realize that you cannot play jailbreak while camping because when they're 8, they're so much slower than when they are 12 or 13, and they find you laying in the grass just trying to cool off because you're about to pass out. You ran so fast after them and still didn't catch them. There's more on that later. There's something deeply formative, though, about a father who says, I don't have this all figured out, but I'm not going anywhere. That builds security, that builds trust, that builds kids who know that failure isn't the end of the story. Look, if you're listening to this and carrying some guilt about something you did or didn't do as a dad, I want you to slow down and I want you to hear this clearly. Let this sink in. The fact that it is bothering you is evidence that you actually care. And caring dads can always re enter the story. In fact, it's part of the story. Today counts, tonight counts, tomorrow will absolutely count. Being a good father is not about never messing up, it's about modeling what redemption looks like in real time. Owning mistakes, choosing love again, making daily deposits, even small ones, honoring the generation before us by trying to do better, not out of pride, but out of gratitude. That's not weakness. That's leadership. That's fatherhood done right. So as you navigate the rest of this week, I want you to apply that or at least think about that. Make some deposits in your kids. Say, I'm sorry if you need to. Think twice before playing jailbreak with a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds. All right, guys. Thanks for letting me make a small house call into something a little more personal today. And if this resonated, you're not alone. And if you're a dad listening to this after a hard day, go back in. Your kids don't need perfect. They just need you. If you're looking for a church home or a place where you can wrestle with faith, understanding family, where you can walk through real life alongside other people navigating circumstances a lot like yours, Cross Church has been that place for my family. And what's great, it's not about having it all together. It's just about showing up, growing, and walking through life together. I'd be happy to tell you more, or you could just show up on Sundays. See you then.